Good morning. And the last article of this unit, three-dimensional box. Actually, a particle trapped in a three-dimensional box. In this article, we want to discuss the behavior of a particle in motion when it is trapped in a three-dimensional box. Let me consider this as the three-dimensional box. Observe this figure. Let us consider a three-dimensional box. We may consider this as a cube. Let us consider a cube as a three-dimensional box. Length of each edge will be equal to capital L. This is the origin. Length of each edge of this cube will be capital L. Okay. These edges, this one, this one, this one, this one are parallel to x-axis. This one, this one, this one, this one are parallel to y-axis, and this edge, this edge, this edge, this edge, these edges are parallel to z-axis. Let us suppose a particle is trapped somewhere here inside this three-dimensional box. Let us suppose this particle is trapped inside this three-dimensional box, and this particle is set into motion. Walls of this cube are infinitely hard. This is wall, this is wall, this is wall, this is wall. The walls are parallel to x-axis. Few walls are parallel to y-axis. Few walls are parallel to z-axis. Here, this wall and this wall, this one and this one, these two are parallel to x-axis. This wall and this wall parallel to y-axis. Okay, and then this wall and this wall may be taken parallel to z-axis. All these walls are infinitely hard. That is, walls are faces. A cube has 6 faces. 2 faces parallel to x-axis, 2 faces parallel to y-axis, 2 faces parallel to z-axis. These faces of the cube are taken as infinitely hard walls. If these are infinitely hard walls, what will happen? Particles' potential energy outside the three-dimensional box will be V is equal to infinity. You may come to this side, this side, this side, this side. You may go along x-axis outside the cube, along y-axis outside the cube, along z-axis outside the cube. You will find that potential energy V is equal to infinity outside the three-dimensional cube, outside the three-dimensional box. Inside the box, potential energy of the particle trapped is taken to be 0. It means that the particle can lie only inside the three-dimensional box. As potential energy outside the three-dimensional box is infinity, the particle could not come out of the three-dimensional box. It is not possible for the particle to lie outside the three-dimensional box. It will lie only inside the three-dimensional box because potential energy V is equal to 0 inside the 3D box. Outside the 3D box, it is infinity, and therefore the particle will only lie inside the three-dimensional box. Its potential energy is 0 inside the three-dimensional box, and therefore the particle only has kinetic energy. This kinetic energy of the particle is constant. This is because when the particle is performing motion inside this three-dimensional box, it may get collide with the walls parallel to x-axis, with the walls parallel to y-axis, with the walls parallel to z-axis. But as these walls are infinitely hard, collision of the particle with these walls do not lose any energy. Collision of the particle with these walls do not lose any energy, and therefore the kinetic energy of the particle inside the three-dimensional box will be constant. As the particle is in motion, it is associated with a wave function. Now in this case, the wave function is psi of x, y, z. It is function of the coordinates x, y, z. It is not function of time t. It is function of the coordinates x, y, z. It is not function of the time t. This particle psi associated with the particle performing motion in the 3D box should be 0 for x is equal to 0 and x is equal to L, for y is equal to 0, for y is equal to z, L, for z is equal to 0 and for z is equal to L. This wave function psi of x, y, z should be 0 for these 6 conditions. When x 0 or L, psi should be 0. When y is 0 or L, psi should be 0. When z 0 or L, psi should be 0. Because the particle is not lying outside the three-dimensional box, and therefore the wave function when you try to go outside the three-dimensional box will be 0. These 6 conditions will give us that the particle is trying to go outside the box. These 6 conditions tell us that whenever the particle is trying to go outside the box, these conditions will be valid, and for these conditions psi will be equal to 0. It means that the particle will not be outside the three-dimensional box. It is only inside the three-dimensional box, and therefore the wave function psi will present only inside the three-dimensional box associated with the particle in motion. Motion of such a particle is represented by the steady state Schrodinger equation in 3 dimensions, which is this one. del square psi. Let me first write general equation. This equation, both are same. These are general equations for steady state Schrodinger equation in 3 dimensions. For our case, what is V? 0. So in equation 1, we have to put 0 as potential energy of the particle performing motion inside a 3-dimensional box is 0. And so for our case, equation 1 takes the form This is the steady state Schrodinger equation for the particle trapped in a 3-dimensional box and the particle is performing continuous motion inside this 3-dimensional box. This is the equation for motion of that particle. To study the parameters related, the physical quantities related with motion of the particle inside the 3-dimensional box, we have to solve equation 2. We have to solve equation 2 for the wave function psi. Once we get the wave function psi, after solving this equation 2, the wave function psi can provide all the information about motion of the particle trapped in the 3-dimensional box. How is the wave function? Psi is equal to psi of x, y, z. How is the wave function? Psi is equal to psi of x, y, z. It means that this wave function psi is a function of 3 different variables x, y, and z. And therefore, to get the solution for equation 2, we have to separate this wave function into 3 independent wave functions such as psi x, psi y, psi z. This psi x will be the wave function described only by the variable x. It will be independent of the variables y and z. Wave function psi y decided only by the variable y, independent of the variables x and z. Psi z, the wave function of the particle trapped in the 3-dimensional box, described only by the variable z. It is independent of the variables x and y. And how these functions x, y, z are? We may represent this psi as psi x into psi y into psi z. The wave function psi of x, y, z the wave function psi of x, y, z may simply be written as product of psi x, psi y, psi z, where psi x is only decided by the variable x independent of variables y and z. Psi y only decided by the variable y independent of the other 2 variables x and z. psi z only described by the variable z independent of the variables x and y. From this equation number 3, let us get values of dou 2 psi by dou x square, dou 2 psi by dou y square, dou 2 psi by dou z square. Okay, so if 3 is differentiated 2 times with respect to x, we may get here dou 2 psi by dou x square is equal to psi y psi z d2 psi x divided by dx square, equation number 4. If 3 is differentiated 2 times with respect to y, keeping x and z constant, we may get dou 2 psi by dou y square is equal to psi x psi z d2 psi y divided by dx square, equation number 5. Similarly, if 3 is differentiated 2 times with respect to z, keeping x and y constant, we may have dou 2 psi by dou z square is equal to psi x psi by d2 psi z divided by dz square, equation number 6. Let us substitute equations 3, 4, 5 and 6. 3 for this side. For this side, that is psi of x, y, z, we have put psi x into psi y into psi z. 4 for this, 5 for this, 6 for this. Let us substitute equations 3, 4, 5 and 6 into equation 2 to get, let me put it here, psi y psi z d2 psi x by dx square plus psi x psi z d2 psi y by dy square plus psi x psi y d2 psi z by dz square plus 2me divided by h cross square psi x psi y psi z is equal to 0, equation number 7. Substituting equations 3, 4, 5, 6 into 2, we get this equation, equation number 7. Divide equation 7 by x, y, z. Divide equation 7 by psi x, psi y, psi z. Divide equation 7 throughout by psi x into psi y into psi z. So, dividing equation 7 by psi of x, y, z is equal to psi x, psi y, psi z, we may further get here psi y, psi z will get cancelled, only 1 by psi x will be left. So, 1 by psi x d2 psi x by dx square plus here psi x, psi z will get cancelled, 1 by psi y will only left, that is 1 by psi y d2 psi y by dy square plus here psi x, psi y will get cancelled, only 1 by psi z will left. So, 1 by psi z d2 psi z divided by dz square plus Here psi x, psi y, psi z, all the three get cancelled, and what left here is 2me divided by h cross square is equal to 0. Equation number 8. Dividing equation 7 throughout by psi x into psi y into psi z, we get equation 8. Equation 8 may further be written as equation 8 may further be written as equation 9. Let us have a look inside equation number 9. Let us have a look inside equation number 9. What do we find? RHS of equation 9 is a constant. This is a term function of only z. This is a term function of only y. This is a term function of only x. It means that on LHS we have three terms, functions of three different variables, and on RHS we have a constant term. Sum of these three terms on LHS will be equal to this constant. But if we take these terms separately, this will be equal to some constant, this will be equal to some other constant, this will be equal to some other constant, and therefore let me put the first term equal to 1 by psi x into d2 psi x by dy square is equal to minus kx square. Equation number 10. The second term, let me put this as 1 by psi y into d2 psi y by dy square is equal to minus ky square. Equation number 11. And for the third term, let me put 1 by psi z into d2 psi z by dz square is equal to minus kz square. Equation number 12. I can have the first term is equal to some constant minus kx square. I can have the second term is equal to some other constant minus ky square, and third term is equal to still some other constants minus kz square. If you substitute equations 10, 11 and 13 into equation 9, equation 9 may become minus kx square minus ky square minus kz square is equal to minus 2me divided by h cross square. Minus from three terms may be taken common, sent to other side to cancel with this minus sign, and you will be only left with kx square plus ky square plus kz square is equal to 2me divided by h cross square. Equation number 13. Okay, we shall use this equation somewhere in the same article. Now we want to have solutions to this equation, solution to this equation, solution to this equation. How should be psi x? Psi x should be 0 at x is equal to 0 and x is equal to L. Psi x should be 0 at x is equal to 0 and x is equal to L. How should be psi y? Psi y should be 0 at y is equal to 0 and at y is equal to L. How should be psi z? Psi z should be 0 at z is equal to 0 and at z is equal to L. Solutions to such differential equations are either sines or cosines. Solutions to such equations are either sines or cosines. If we go for cosine solutions for such equations, there is one problem. When x is 0, cosine will not be 0 for psi x. When y is 0, cosine will not be 0 for psi y. When z is 0, cosine will not be 0 for psi z. But if we consider the sine function, sine is 0 at x is equal to 0 for psi x. Sine is 0 at y is equal to 0 for psi y. Sine is equal to 0 for z is equal to 0 at psi z. It means that sine is the appropriate solution. Sine is the appropriate solution to differential equations such as 10, 11 and 13. So in the next lecture we are going to first find solutions for equations 10, 11 and 13 and then we proceed with the same article. I have solved all these steps. I have explained every concept needed to understand the things in this article. Hope you got it. If you have any question, you may please ask. Thank you.